again, thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it, and I'm super excited for the call. And I'd love to learn just a little bit more about you and kind of how you came to where you are today.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Wendy DiAngelis, and I'm the owner of two businesses, and I'm a Grant Cardone certified licensee. And my two businesses are Absolute Living 365 and Wendy DiAngelis Life and Business Solutions. Absolute Living 365 is definitely geared towards coaching women specifically in achieving success in their own lives. The way I came about doing this was because I had hit a wall and come to a point in my own life where I wish there was some place that I could turn to or something I could put in Google, like just to Google that one right thing that would tell me what I needed to know or what direction I wanted to go in. So that's why I created Absolute Living 365.
Wow, that is incredible. And so how long have you had Life 365? Like,
Well, Absolute Living 365 has been since 2018. So I definitely worked with a lot of individuals before then, and people would always come to me and ask me for advice and input on things that were going on in their own lives. So I just decided to make it official in 2018.
that makes a lot of sense, and that's awesome. And what
Yeah.
specifically do you help women, specifically you're mentioning, do with life, with their own businesses, and what are some of the ways that you do that?
Some of the ways that I do that are with women finding direction, setting goals, and learning how to create sustainable, achievable results with those
Mm,
goals. So, in other words, they're goals that they can keep. It's a system that they can keep using over and over and over again to achieve success in achieving the goals that they set for themselves.
wow, that's incredible. Goal making is incredibly important in all
Yeah.
aspects of life, and sometimes I know people can feel a bit lost. They might not know how to define those goals, how to write them down, what are the most effective ways to kind of manifest that in. And so that's so incredible that you help women, define their targets, define their goals, and then help them put it into action.
Yes, absolutely. It's great fun too. I love being able to help people in general, and especially women, and especially young entrepreneurs like yourself, in figuring out basically their world and what they want to create and having the two meet.
Yeah, that is awesome. And it's so great that you're helping other women, helping other young entrepreneurs as we all go through. Because I feel like having a coach, having a mentor in life, just like, Grant Cardone and his systems is the most important, especially in all aspects of life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you had asked what I would tell my 20-year-old self. Now that was
Mhm.
something really interesting and a question that I haven't thought of in a number of years, I might add. So it was definitely something that I gave a lot of thought to. And I originally was going to kind of give you an answer like, oh, don't worry about what other people think. But then my own 20-year-old daughter turned to me and said, Mom, that's so cliche. Don't say that. Give them something more to go on. So I did come up with a few points that I'd like to share with you that I really wanted to say it's okay if you're in your 20s or you're graduating high school or you're in your early 20s and you don't know what you want to do. It's okay. It's all right because it's life experiences that add the layers that help you learn and grow and become the person that you want to be. So that's the first thing I would say to my 20-year-old self is it's okay to not know what you want to do with the rest of your life, because you're probably going to have so many different um, reincarnations of yourself.
Mm.
Okay. And then the second thing I want to say is that, and I wrote them down for you, is that other people should never define who you are. So there was a time, like, especially in high school, I'm hard of hearing. So I wear hearing aids. Not a lot of people know this. And in high school, I had a very difficult time because I felt intimidated. And I think people interpreted that as being shy
Mm.
and quiet and a little more reserved. So I feel like that was more of an intimidation, and that was me in my own head. And I allowed people to define who I was at that point of time as shy. So moving into my 20s, fast forwarding into my 20s, I realized that wasn't who I wanted to be. That wasn't who I really was, because I had these magnificent conversations in my head that I just never was able to share. So that goes to another point: share. It's okay. Your opinion is valuable and it matters. Even if you're 20 or you're 30 or you're 60 or 80, those opinions and those views all matter. Okay. And then lastly, because my business is a business that's very goal centric, is set goals. Take time to set some goals, and they can be really big goals. Like my daughter's boyfriend wants to, he's 23. He wants to one day own a distillery.
Mm.
That's a pretty great goal.
Right.
And yet he has these, I call them sub goals, where there are other things he wants to do as well along the way: buy a house, get a car, everything that 20-year-olds want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Those are those sub goals. And under those sub goals, what you need to do is list how you're going to achieve it. What steps do you have to take to achieve those goals? So that's what I would tell is very key to any 20-year-old's success.
Wow, that is incredible. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for sharing
You're
his goal as
welcome.
well, because that's definitely helping. I think also if more people believe in your goal just as much as you do, and they're willing to talk about it just as much as you do, it builds your belief so much more. So I think that's super awesome. And owning his own distillery, that sounds amazing, and that's a
Yeah,
really great goal. Like I have a goal to be the youngest $1 million earner with my company in the next upcoming years, and I'm okay
wonderful.
with sharing that because it's my goal and I'm willing to work for it. And like you said, and like I had said at the beginning, that having those goals and understanding them, and then like you were saying with sub goals of small things that can help along the way, because I know people can see a huge goal and be like, there's no way I can ever do that. Like, yeah, $1 million is a lot, but 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, and those small things to get there, then next thing you know, you're at a million. You're like, I don't even know how I got there. It happened so quickly.
That's right. That's right. And that's the perfect way to think about it. And as you go along, just reassess or reevaluate if the people you're hanging out with and the things you're doing are helping you get closer to your goals.
Mm, yeah.
So, and that can sometimes be a tough one, especially when you're in your 20s and you want to do all these fun things. I know when I was in my 20s, I didn't go to college right away.
Mm,
I went straight into working a full-time job out of high school. Okay. And it wasn't until my late 20s that I decided I wanted to go to college, because I thought that was the thing that everybody had to do to move ahead in their lives. So that's what I did. My daughter went to college straight out of high school. So everybody's different. And I
yeah.
think that, when you start thinking about what your goals are and you start reevaluating, what is working and helping you achieve your goals, you start looking at things with a different perspective.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that is so awesome. And I really appreciate you coming on and sharing because making your goals in every aspect of your life is, I believe, the number one most important thing you can do to help better yourself and help grow is
Yeah.
having those goals, having something to look forward to, having the motivation towards something. So I really appreciate you coming on and sharing a few minutes of your time to speak about this really incredible topic. Is there any last thing you'd kind of like to throw out there before you wrap it up?
I would just like to say if you or any other 20 somethings, especially young women, want to learn more about goal setting, definitely check out my site at absoluteliving365.com. I generally work with women that are 35 to 65. But I'm always open to helping young entrepreneurs and young women find their way and just bring those two parts of themselves together.
Yeah, that is incredible. And I will be able to link her website in the description for a little bit easier navigation. Everyone should definitely check it out because goal setting is, as I said, incredibly important and it should be important to everyone in their life. So again, thank you so much, Wendy, for taking a few minutes out of your day. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.